The Installation Management Command will provide the facilities, programs, and services required to support Army readiness, sustain the all-volunteer force, and provide the infrastructure for today's and future mission requirements. IMCOM will focus on 6 lines of effort to accomplish the mission.
Grab your attachment, go search a cache.
Readiness is a critical element of force effectiveness and mission success. We will provide support that is consistent and effective throughout the R4Gen process. Our support for the reset phase, in particular, will be focused on rebuilding readiness for future deployments. Our programs will be well designed and executed, helping to maintain an Army community comprising resilient, well-balanced soldiers, families, and civilians in a sustainable manner. IMCOM's highest priority will be to provide services to support soldiers, families, and civilians through the Army Family Covenant and Soldier Family Action Plan. Effective family readiness groups and rear detachments are keys to IMCOM's success.
We had an event happen during my husband's latest deployment, and the family readiness group really supported him and brought him home very quickly and helped us through everything and continued the support even after he had to go back, and have throughout the whole deployment and even in between deployments and regular active duty. So they've been a very helpful group for my family.
When I joined the Army 20 years ago, it was quite different than it is today. They're really looking out for the soldier and their families now, more so the families. I think that's one of the biggest differences is morale for not just the soldier, but the whole family, the whole team.
The long-term strength of America's Army depends in large part on the well-being of its soldiers, families, and civilians. IMCOM is committed to providing them a quality of life commensurate with the society they defend in return for their service and sacrifice.
When I first joined the military, it was all about if they wanted you to have a family, they would have issued you one and stuff like that. And I haven't felt like that at all since I've been in the military.
The Army is committed to standardizing and funding family programs and services, increasing the accessibility and quality of health care, improving soldier and family housing, ensuring excellence in schools, youth services, and child care, and expanding education, recreation, and employment opportunities for family members.
It's almost like an honor, because being on this installation, I'm getting a lot more opportunities at different things than I did when I was in the civilian schools, because I'm actually a fairly new military child. My mom just got remarried, so it's definitely a lot nicer being a military child, because you have schools like Faith that have a lot of opportunity for me.
We will continue to strengthen our community relationships to foster and sustain effective state and community support to improve the quality of life for soldiers and their families. These relationships with communities outside the installation gates represent important partnerships that support the strength, resilience, and readiness of soldiers, families, and civilians. Professional leadership of a talented and motivated workforce is key to the successful execution of our mission. Our primary objective is to build and sustain a cadre of agile and adaptable leaders and a multi-skilled workforce with a commitment to deliver installation services for the Army community.
To have a more professional workforce means that we're going to have better processes, have more efficiency as an organization, and that's going to have an effect on soldier and family well-being, for example, installation readiness as an example, sustainable installations. So while you may have 6 different LOEs, they have a holistic positive effect for the organizations, for the senior commanders, and for the soldiers and families that we support.
Installation readiness translates into the ability to provide a growing and transforming Army with the infrastructure and support services it needs to remain a highly effective, expeditionary, and campaign quality force. Sustainability is a major facet of installation readiness and will be included in our installation strategic planning. We will collaborate with industry and other Army commands to establish installations that are much more energy efficient and self-sustaining than in the past. We will work with our community partners as we pursue long-range sustainability goals, address encroachment issues, and reaffirm our installations as valued neighbors. And we will build healthy, inviting communities that allow soldiers and families to thrive.
I grew up in Columbus and had friends that, parents that were in the Army and knew all about Fort Benning, did lots of tours on Fort Benning just to see what's going on. But had no idea that it was such a special place. And I had no idea that the Army really, really cares about conservation. It blew my mind, but they are so into it. There's so much research going on Fort Benning. And now there's a lot of research and conservation efforts going on outside the fence.
The Army has an inherent obligation to provide a safe and healthy environment for the soldiers, families, and civilians that constitute the Army family. IMCOM is committed to growing a culture of safety awareness that pervades our daily operations and activities, both on and off installations, and which guides our actions at all times. Our strategy will include more expansive communication concerning the requirement to exercise effective risk management, situational awareness, and accident avoidance measures. We will further communicate the availability of education and training programs and get the message out that safety is both the leader's responsibility and a matter of personal accountability.
Right now we're supplying 100% of the gas to Fort Knox. It is DOD gas. Cost reduction is 30 to 35% off of what they were paying in the past. They have energy security. They're burning renewable energy, non-fossil fuel. They're covering all these directives that were lined out to them.
The Army is increasingly leveraging strategic energy initiatives to reduce dependence on petroleum, degradation of air quality, and global climate change. With the expansion of mission for Army installations from primarily training and deployment platforms to include homeland security and disaster relief operations, access to adequate and secure supplies of energy represents a compelling priority for IMCOM. Energy efficiency and security are important barometers of installation readiness. Sustainability projects and initiatives will lead the way to future installations that are models of efficient design and operation. We will capitalize on one of the biggest assets at our disposal, land, in order to advance renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, and geothermal, and reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. Ultimately, it's not about the plan. It's about the soldier who's on his or her 3rd, 4th, or 5th combat deployment, and it's about his or her family. The strength of the Army is the strength of the family.